Good evening, members.
Good evening, Charity.
Fine, thank you. Thank you for joining in on time. Members, thank you for joining in on time. My name is Charity. Happy to be here and to be the moderator of the session.
Hi, Charity. Good evening.
Good evening to you.
How are
Solomon,
you?
you're most welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We are happy to have you.
I'm more honored.
Good evening, Stephen. Good evening, Keith. Good evening, Silas. Coach Samuel, greetings. Dorothy. You're so much welcome. And I can see you renamed. Yes, we can identify you by your names. So as you saw the flyer, our topic this evening is about soft skills. And I'll request us to put on chat what you understand by soft skills, what came to mind the first time you heard about soft skills, and for us to meet your expectations, we'll kindly request you to put 1 or 2 expectations, what you want to learn at the end of this meeting. Can put on chat, or if you're okay where you are, can raise your hand and share with us. As a way to start officially. Let me check the chat. Members, please, you can share your expectations. All right. So as we plan to start and as we plan to share our expectations, I want to give an opportunity. Let me take opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Charity Niyonshuti, and I'm a member of Transformational Professionals Club. Project and programs professional. Projects and programs is one of my passion, and I'm very passionate about programs that serve the interests of underprivileged communities. Yes, I'm passionate about mentorship. Yes, that's why I made a choice to be a member of Transformational Professional Club. And socially, I love meeting friends, meeting new people, learning from them. Yes, that's about me. So I can give opportunity for people to introduce yourself. You can put on the chat if you're able to speak where you are. If you're comfortable, you can unmute and share with us your name, what you do, what you're passionate about. Thank you. Of course, reserving Solomon as our speaker. His introduction will be later. Members, please share with us about yourself, your name, what you're passionate about, and your expectation from this meeting. Stephen, would you like to go first? I see Brenda, I see Silas, I see Faith. Kindly tell us about yourself. Okay, I see Keith. Keith says, my expectation. Keith has shared a chart. My expectation as a business enthusiast, enhancing communication, leadership, problem solving, adaptability, emotional intelligence, negotiation, time management, networking, all of which are crucial for advancing in accounting and entrepreneurship. Thank you, Keith. This is Keith's expectation, and I hope from our speakers sharing, these expectations will be addressed in one way or the other. Thank you. All right. So as we wait for you to share, It's past 19 minutes. Yes, Stephen. Yes, Stephen, share with us. You can unmute and share.
Thank you so much, our dear moderator. I'm Makande Stephen. I'm a student from Makerere University. I'm a finalist in my final year. This meeting comes at a time when we as a younger generation need a lot of mentorship for as far as the professional world is concerned. I expect to walk away with actionable tips and tricks to finally pass through my job interviews somewhere in the future, and also land my dream role somewhere, plus learning how to excel as a leader. So this is a game changer for me, and I'm waiting to hear from you as experienced professionals and all others. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Stephen. That's a good expectation, and indeed to be addressed as we go along the session. Thank you for sharing. Want to master the skill, how you will face the world of corporate world as you advance career-wise and job searching. That's a good one, and we hope it will be addressed. Brenda, would you like to share with us your expectations, where you are? Are you comfortable speaking, texting? Either will work. Yes, it's okay. It's okay, Brenda. You can text. Okay, as Brenda texts, I'll share my experience with soft skills. The first time I heard about it, I knew soft skills is about speaking in a humble way, in a calm way, and softly. I used to think all people who are soft-spoken and who are very calm, I used to think those are the people who have mastered. I used to think those are the people who had mastered the soft skills. However, I got to understand that I was so wrong, and that's why I'm here to learn and learn more about soft skills. I don't know how about you, what you used to think of soft skills, but for me, that's what I used to think. And later, I got to learn that it's a very crucial skill, whether at home, whether at work. I got to learn that it's something that you can't do away with in life. Thank you, Dorothy. Dorothy says, I think soft skills are essential, and power skills. As an accountant, I expect by end of meeting to have learned how to use my skills, become more adaptable, develop critical thinking skills, and improve on my teamwork. Thank you, Dorothy. These expectations are so valid and valuable. I hope, and I'm sure throughout this session, you're going to gain. Thank you. Silas, would you want to share your expectation as well? And before we bring our speaker. Silas, would you like to share? Would you like to text, please? I'd love to hear from you. or Rosette, would you like to share what is your expectation from this meeting? Brenda, my expectation regarding this meeting as a young lawyer introduced in the corporate world is to enhance communication skills and other attainable skills as I boost my career growth. Indeed, we are here to learn how to navigate this career journey. Brenda, your expectation will be met at the end of this meeting. All right, thank you for sharing your expectations. I'll check on YouTube to see if one of the people attending using YouTube have shared their expectations. I'm checking YouTube channel to check if there's some of the expectations. Someone can unmute, check. Someone can unmute. Right. No one has shared yet. And I'll go straight, introduce our speaker. Our speaker today is Mr. Solomon Jackson Kobwemi. We are so honored to have you this evening as our speaker. Thank you so much for sparing that time and choosing to come and share with us about this pertinent skill that everyone needs in life. We are so much humbled. Mr. Jackson Solomon Kobwemi is currently area manager of National Social Security Fund, that is NSSF, and checking his profile, he has climbed the career ladder. I checked he was a project director at Compassion International, and he went ahead and became a relationship manager. Then he became a business manager, and so many other accomplishments. And right now, he is here to speak to us, to challenge us, to inspire us. And we are so honored to have you, Mr. Solomon. Kindly take the floor, and you can also introduce yourself further for us to understand who is Mr. Solomon. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you, Charity. I will switch on my video for a moment so that people don't think they are talking to attach a face to. Are you able to see my video?
Yes, please.
Okay. I think I would like to request Brenda to mute, or if the host can mute her, it will be good. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Now, I've already been introduced. Solomon is my name. All the others will fall into place, but just call me Solomon. As simple as that. Normally, I prefer not to say more after I have been introduced, but I wanted to say that I am very passionate about soft skills. Whenever I have an opportunity to talk about soft skills, I want to speak and speak and speak. And I want to start, I would like to start our conversation by giving a story. Some of you who have been following my posts on LinkedIn, this story will not be strange. I shared about it sometime this week. And so I want to start with that story. While growing up, I think I was amongst those who are really bullied and body shamed because of different things. One of the things that I used to be bullied about is my gap. I have quite a big gap in my teeth. And then the other thing that I was bullied about was apparently people considered my legs to be too fat for a man. So I was bullied for having fat legs. And another thing that I was bullied about was I don't know why they thought I had very big lips. They used to say that my lips would weigh a kilogram or so. No, I can see Charity is laughing, yes. And so when those things were said about me, there is a way they affected the way I believed. I believed what I was, the way I interacted with people. I became very inhibited, and then I got acne in my face during adolescence. So my face had pimples, and all those things affected the way I believed about myself. My self-esteem, my self-worth, my ability to talk, all those things were affected. So I will tell you that throughout my lower secondary, I could never even put up my hand to give an answer, despite the fact that I used to be a very good performer in class, but I would rarely put up my hand because I didn't believe that it was worthwhile. Until one day, when we were having a chemistry class, and the teacher asked something which I knew and I could not put up my hand, and everybody failed to give the right answer. And then the teacher picked on me and said, "You tell us the answer." And I knew the answer and I said it. Now, when I said it, I was punished for that because the teacher said I was being too selfish. I knew the right thing and I had kept quiet. So I had to think of how to come out of that. I had to think of how to start speaking up. It took a lot of effort, but there are certain things I still didn't believe about myself. And until I got married, when I met my wife now, she's the one who started speaking certain things in my life, telling me that it was good to smile, that I had a very beautiful smile. If you check my pictures now that I post on LinkedIn, I'm always wearing a smile because my wife told me that my smile was very beautiful, but I didn't believe that until I got married. Later, as I started working out in the gym and what I realized that what people used to bully me about was actually what people are looking for: the big legs, the big arms. That is what people are looking for as they're working out. And me, I had them already. So I realized that people were bullying me because they were jealous. They were envious of what I had. And I did not know. My self-worth was down the drain. My confidence was terrible. You would ask me to talk to people and I would hardly say anything because I feared. And another thing which affected me, because I started in the village, my mastery of the spoken English was really bad. So I wasn't sure that I would even say something good. And then another thing happened, another transformation or turning point happened in senior one. I am in this class where I am in a town school and they're asking things. And I was asked a very simple question, but I could not answer. the class monitor was taking roll call and asked, so Solomon, how many days did you miss last week? To be honest, I looked for the right answer and I could not find it. And I just blubbered and said, no one. And everybody in class and around me laughed so loud. It was such an embarrassing experience. But you know that experience pushed me to the wall. I had to learn. I had to take the dictionary. I had to teach myself how to speak English. I had to read. And so it has been a journey. I do not know what your story is, especially when it comes to self-worth and self-confidence as one of the major soft skills. I don't know what your journey is. I don't know what your story is. But I thought I would start with that I have come from far. My story is a story of continuous growth, continuous learning and unlearning. Have I attained what I have to attain as far as these skills are concerned? It's a journey. Every day I keep learning. So I think that's what I'll give as a starting point for this conversation. And Charity, some people were smart enough, were bold enough to speak up. I want to encourage people who are listening to me that it's important to speak up. For example, we are 13 people online, and Charity has asked us to even type in the chat room our expectation. This is one of the things. Nobody is even seeing you. Please go to the chat room and type. Please type. Let's learn to speak up as young adults who are looking at opportunities to get into the job market, to sell ourselves, to brand ourselves. Whenever there's an opportunity to speak, let us learn to speak. Now, we do not know what your expectations are, apart from a few who have said. And so we do not know why you're here and if what you're going to say is going to benefit you. So, and then you are going to miss out on opportunity because maybe the conversation will be somehow tweaked to address what you would want to learn. And so you're missing an opportunity, and yet you're spending your time here. So let's learn to speak up. I want to thank you, everybody who has written, who has spoken. Stephen spoke up. Thank you so much. This is how we grow. And so I'll continue, of course, the discussion as it unravels. We'll get to learn so many more, but I think that will be an introduction for now. I am doing everything possible in my circles to teach people these skills, to converse formally and informally about them. I am having time with my children to make sure that they learn these things, because these are things which will not be taught in Makerere University in a lecture room. And yet, they are very, very important. They will determine how far we go on this journey of life. Thank you, Charity. I hope I have introduced myself somehow. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Solomon, and sharing your story. One thing I tell people is I love hearing people's real life stories. Yes, we read the books. I know there was a program that used to be on NTV. I don't know where it went. It used to that it was true life stories. People would come and share their stories. And for me, that's it for me. When you share with me and you share from your heart, that's enough for me. That's enough for me to learn, imitate, and go out and try out. And Solomon, so good to hear about your story, overcoming self-worth, the bullies. I know I don't claim to know it all, but I think for me, I also share my experience. When at university, we had this lady in our discussion. She was a bully. Like, every time she would give an example. Okay, I come from Kisoro, and people who know Kisoro is a bit far. And she would always give an example of those people who come from hard to reach areas like Charity. Every time. At first, I was okay because I come from Kisoro. Like, There's no shame about it. But later I realized she uses it with bad intentions, with kind of shaming. So one day I asked her, I said, excuse me, we are all here. I asked her, how much tuition do you pay? She says, yeah, we pay the same tuition. I said, I asked her at the end of that term of our course, which kind of transcript are you going to get? Like what will be like what will it be looking like? Won't it be the same as mine? He said it's the same. I said it's okay. So those things of starting to compare and making me look like coming from Kisoro is as if it's a sin, as if it's something to be shy about. And from that day, she never used to make those sarcastic comments about where I come from. Yes. Thank you so much, and we hope to learn a lot from you. And that doesn't mean that I have mastered that skill. Of course, here and there you meet other things that shake you a bit, and that's why I'm here, and that's why we are here to learn. Before I start us off with our question, I see Philip. Philip, thank you for sharing. Philip says, my expectation is to create a very conducive relationship with others, boost career growth, and aim higher in my profession. Also, be able to connect, create, and build the future professionally. Thank you, Phil. We have here an expert, a trainer, and enthusiast. He will make sure and ensure we all go with our expectations met. So, Mr. Solomon, I understand your passion from your write-ups and from your introduction. You're so much passionate about two soft skills, that is self-worth and self-confidence. And to start us off, what are soft skills? What are they for? Why do we need them even? Why did you choose to be passionate? Why do you choose to preach the gospel around self-confidence and self-worth? And of what importance are they to us as individuals? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Charity. Now, I would like to say that I may not know it all as far as these soft skills are concerned, but I have an idea. And so I would like us to, get involved in this. The question you have posed to me, I want to pose it to the people online. Type in the chat room, let me know, what do you understand by soft skills? Charity made me laugh so hard. Was it yesterday or the other day when she posted her understanding of soft skills? Honestly, I laughed so hard. I was like, wow, this is hilarious. And I would like to start from there. I know we are now 14 people on call. Please feel free to type in the chat room what you think soft skills are. Then I will start there. Please go ahead, type very fast, briefly. What do you think? What do you understand when you hear soft skills? Is it soft talking in a soft, quiet, harsh tone? Is it speaking like some people say they were Toro? Thank you, Gloria. Gloria says soft skills are people skills that enable you to relate with people in your sphere amicably. Thank you so much, Gloria. Another person, I'm waiting for your input. Mirembe says soft skills are non-technical skills that describe how you work and interact with others. Keith says skills within us that define who we are and can give something. Dorothy says core and essential skills apply to all professions. Patricia says soft skills are personal attributes that help one coordinate work well with others. Indeed, all these things are right. And by the way, when Rosette says skills that enable us interact with others, Philip says soft skills are a state at which you are able to handle problems and provide the immediate solutions. Okay, adult learning. All the answers are correct. All of us are correct. And I would like to say, for me, skills that are not taught in class. Fantastic. Thank you, Stephen. Skills which are not taught in class, you will not find them. They're not technical. They're not like mathematics, where they say 1 + 1 = 2. Okay, all these answers feed into one main thing. For me, I would define soft skills as those intangible, and they are intrinsic. They are within the nature. They are attributes of an individual that enable us to relate very well with ourselves, but also with others. Now, we are not just looking at relating with others. We're also looking at how we relate with ourselves. Because before I relate with Charity, I need to know how I relate with myself. If I know how to relate with myself very well, it becomes very easy for me to relate with Charity. If I have accepted who I am, if I have understood who I am, and I'm willing to, to move out, I will easily relate with Charity. Those are the skills. Ruth says interpersonal skills that describe how you work and interact with others. Exactly. We are looking at interpersonal skills. We are looking at attributes that are within you that are not taught in class. How do I relate? How do I solve problems? How do I talk to others? How do I talk to myself? Have you had people who are always talking negatively to themselves? Charity, have you seen? There are those people who are always talking negative about themselves. I am nothing. I will ever achieve anything. I will never amount to anything. I am doomed. 1, 2, 3, 2 food day. 1, 2. That is the conversation they are having with themselves. They are not even talking to you now, because that's what they are used to when they come to talk to you. Because that is what is within them. For those who have read the Bible, which I believe in, no offense intended to anyone, because the Bible says from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Whatever is filling your heart, you will easily speak. So if the way you speak with yourself, you will easily pour out. The way you relate with yourself, you will easily relate with others. The way you solve problems with your own problems, you will easily solve the problems with others. The way you look at life generally will determine how you will perceive others. So those are the skills. Now, many of us are trained. Many of us are degree holders. Thank God for that. But when it comes to the actual execution, when it comes to the way we relate with others, it's a huge problem. We cannot hold a conversation with other people, and yet we are degree holders. You cannot present yourself before people, and yet you have got a degree. You cannot relate with people, and yet you are a degree holder. So, which environment are you going to work in? Which kind of people are you going to work with? Some of us want to relate with people as if we are relating with machines. By click of a button, you want some response. We are not patient with others. We are basically we are struggling. So those are the things that I feel really passionate about. I have been in the job market for a long time. I started working in 2002, sometime back. And yes, 2002. How many years ago? Many years ago. And yes, those many, Charity, I know you're counting them. Yes, those many years. Now, I have interacted with several people, and God has been gracious to me that from the word go, I was in an administrative role. I was like a leader. I've been leading people, leading teams. But I have come to realize that many of us are not failing at jobs because we do not know what to do. No, it's because we do not have these attributes that help us deliver, that help us relate, that help us stand out. And so we are there disgruntled. We are there complaining. We are there thinking we are not liked enough. We are there wondering why we are failing interviews. But it's because we do not have the skills that will propel us to some other level. You were asking me, are they important? Soft skills, are they important? What do the others think? Are soft skills important? Please, you can type a yes or no in the chat room. Are they important? Do we need them? Dorothy, thank you. Yes. Yes, Gloria, we need them. Keith says yes. Of course, I wouldn't expect you to be here if you did think it is important. Patricia, thank you. Thank you. Brenda, thank you. Yes, very important. Thank you very much. Now, all of us agree that they are very important. Now, I will ask another question. How many of us have put in an effort to get these soft skills or to read about them? How many of us, by a show of hands, show me a hand in the chat room, apart from today's session? Of course, today's session is one of them. So apart from today's session, who has been intentional? Okay, Brenda has. Maybe we'll hear your story. Communication skills got me my current job. Fantastic. Thank you, Fred. Let's hear. I have Gloria. Thank you. Who else has? You will help me, Charity, to engage the audience on YouTube to see if there is anything, if they are able to, if they have any contributions. Yes, but we can see that some people have taken an effort, and I'm going to ask at some point the three people who have tried and to hear them out and to learn from them. But I'm very excited about Fred, who has said, communication skills got me my current job. So they are very, very important, and yet they are easily neglected. So that's why I became an enthusiast. That's why I'm passionate, because I have seen it. I am passionate because I have seen the impact these skills have had in my own journey. If I started telling you my stories, the cows will come back home and I'm still talking. So I will not do that for today. But there are a lot of examples I could give you. There are a lot of examples I could give you. Let me just pick one of them. There is a time I had a subordinate who was, I considered, very disrespectful. He would speak anyhow, without respect. He would answer loudly, and whether he's in agreement or not, he would disagree with you in the local term far. Without respect. For me, I considered him very disrespectful in his communication. He was not seasoned in the way he communicated. Now, because I had taken effort to learn some of the skills on how to manage anger and how to communicate, there are three occurrences where I felt like holding this guy to the wall and hitting him like souls because of what he was doing. But you see, I have learned to speak to myself. Whenever such a circumstance comes up, I talk to myself. I say, calm down, calm down, calm down. Now, when I cannot calm down, I have mastered the art of walking away. Even when I'm in the office, I will walk away. And I will go somewhere. When I am in position to face this situation, I will call the person and we have a one-on-one conversation. And I will tell them candidly, not zigzagging, not hiding anything, not sugarcoating anything. I will speak candidly and bluntly about what it is. And I will say, you know what? When you behaved like this, I felt very disrespected. I felt this was not the way to talk to me. I'm requesting that going forward, you do it like this. And since I am your supervisor, then I come in with my supervisory voice, and I will say, I do not expect you to speak to me like that again next time. I would prefer that you do it this other way. And that has helped me. I've seen supervisors who have lost it. They have slapped people. They have done what? I mean, yeah, people can do that. But I have tried. I have learned. Am I there yet? Still learning. Thank you.
Wow. The stories indeed are so relatable, and I understand all of us, having been in corporate spaces, we have in one way or the other, we have been in either of the position. I know you may not come out to say which position exactly, but that's for sure. It's very possible. And when you talk about soft skills have like help in job market, I remember a story like one recruiter was sharing with me that after they interviewed, I didn't even know about this, that people watch the cameras as when interviewees are coming in and how they go out. So there was this, it was a managerial role. This person entered, greeted Askari, greeted the receptionist. The courteous was in 100% on her way in. However, when after the interview, everything went well. The recruiter tells me the interview was kind of complicated for all of them, since they were asking scenario questions and everything. As she walked out, she didn't say bye to the receptionist. When she reached at the gate and the askari said, "Have a good day, madam," the recruiter told me that she jeered the askari. She jeered and said, "And for me, this company, I knew that lady on the panel. Like they even had the voice." And for me, it's possible. Sometimes, you have done your best, maybe because you're biased in one way, but I understand all of us who have come here today, or who have been somewhere else, who have been intentional. We can never be that person. Thank you so much, Solomon. You're teaching us how not to be that person. And here I'll ask again. Self-confidence and self-worth, at some point, they look as if they are twins, as if a sister and a brother. I would want you to unpack them for us, and maybe with some relatable examples. Yes. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Our dear participants online, you might be asking yourselves, why are we talking about this? Self-confidence and self-worth. Now, there are so many soft skills, as some of you already know. I saw somebody post a message with several of them. But today, we decided that we might have to, of course, we'll talk about the others, but we might have to give more time to self-confidence and self-worth as the backbone to whatever it is that we will handle. Now, as you have said, self-confidence and self-worth are cousins, or sisters, or twins. But I would want to hear from the people online, our dear listeners, our dear participants. What do we think? What is self-worth? What is this thing called self-confidence? If we could have some people typing, I would like to see some comments coming in. What is self-confidence? Is it the same as self-worth? How are they related? Feel free to type in the chat room. But also, if you can, feel free to raise up your hand. You'll be given an opportunity. Please, feel free. If you're able to talk, feel free to raise your hand, and then we'll give you an opportunity to speak. I don't see anybody typing. Are you with us? You know, online audiences are very challenging. Sometimes you think people are listening to you when actually they just logged in and they're not there. COVID taught us those things. But I guess by the time you have logged in today, you are interested in really getting to participate in this conversation. So please type something. What is self-worth? In a layman's understanding, what is self-worth? What is self-confidence? I see many people online. I see Ruth, I see Rosette, I see Rita, I see Tracy. Please feel free to type something. Patricia has been typing, Martha and Stephen, please say something. What is self-confidence and what is self-worth? Yes, Ruth says expressing yourself without fear of being judged. Is that confidence or worth? Ruth. Yes, self-confidence, Keith says, is belief in oneself, and self-worth is the quality that we are. Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much. Patricia says self-confidence is belief that you can meet challenges and work upon them to succeed. Okay. Ability to express yourself without fear of being judged, self-confidence. Thank you so much. Keep those comments coming in. Okay. Okay. I would like to hear more men. I see more women speaking up. I would like to hear the men on the call, not to be sexist in any way or biased, but I would like to hear men as well. So for me, I would like to say that the two are related. Self-worth, Tracy Diana, is your value. Confidence is the boldness. Yes. I think I would just build on that. You know, Fred says self-confidence is the audacity to express oneself with an objective to impact a subject matter. Fantastic. The audacity. I love the words which are being used. Yes. Self-worth is the value you feel you have put on yourself. Okay. When you walk into a shop and they say, this dress is 100,000, that is its worth. Or they say this suit is 1 million. That is its worth. I know many of us these days would love to have iPhones, right? Pro Max, what? 15, 14, what? I'm here to get that level. But you know, yes, I see your expression, Charity. You're like, yes. You know, when you see an iPhone user, there is a way they feel, there is a way they carry themselves, there is a demeanor around them, which shows you that you know at quality, right? The worthiness. Have you met people who drive Mercedes-Benz? The way they carry themselves, there is a way they move around showing quality, they move around showing class, you know, their worth. That's how they express it. So for you as an individual, the value you place on yourself is your worth. There are some people who will say, you've heard people saying that people will give up their life for an iPhone. For me, you give me an iPhone, you're done. I am done. You can even marry me for the ladies. You've heard that. Some people say, you do for me this, I am sorted. That is their worth. There's some people will tell you, you cannot pay for me. My value cannot meet. That is their worth. There are some people who have gone ahead and felt like they are worthless. Anything goes. They don't put any value on their lives. We have seen such. Now, depending on how much value you have placed on yourself, it is going to determine how you relate with others, how you face life. I have seen people who have gone for high-profile interviews, and then when they are asked, so how much salary would you want to be paid for this job? I say, you just give me, even if you paid me 2 million, that would be okay. But then this job actually is, the salary available is like 20 million. Someone said, just give me 2 million. It's okay. I'll do with that. Somebody is looking at how much value are you attaching to your work, to yourself, to your effort, to your, self-worth. I think we are seeing how it is going to play in our relationships, how it's going to play in our work environment, how it's going to play in terms of the jobs that we are going to look for, how it's going to play in terms of the kind of partner you're going to pick for marriage. Have you seen what you consider, according to me, I've seen very beautiful people. And then you meet their partner and you're like, I think this person would have done better than this. What is at play? Self-worth. Because they did not believe that they were that beautiful to look for. I do not know. So this issue of self-worth plays a lot in everyday life, in our jobs, even the career that you choose to do. It does. It will play a lot. Now, the confidence is the audacity to be bold, to dare and stand up for yourself, to dare and stand up for what you believe. The self-confidence. When you look at my example that I shared earlier, I did not believe I was good enough when it came to, the ability to speak up. So I could never speak because my worth was low. My confidence was in the drain. When you do not believe that your value is high, it's going to affect your ability to speak boldly for what you believe. It's going to affect the way people are going to treat you in your relationship. It's going to affect the way people are going to treat you at work. It's going to affect the way people are going to look at you when you enroll for an interview. I have been to offices, or I've seen people walk into my office and I'm like, wow, sit down and we talk. Then there are people walking and you're like, yeah, what has happened? Have you just been rained on by a heavy downpour or what? Somebody walks in and they have this confidence. When they open their mouths to speak, you're like, wow. And even when they don't have much information or what we'd call matter, but because they're confident with the way they express themselves, they are believable. Now, for you are dying there with your material, you have all the knowledge, but because you're not confident about it, somebody's like, this one. Have you seen people when they start talking, they're like, now, you see, somebody's like, what are they saying? Then when you start doing that, then people switch off. Okay, we will talk about public speaking, but it is part of the confidence that you have when you stand up to speak. Let me use an example here. When we were asked to unmute at the initial, unmute and speak, many of us did not take the opportunity. It could be, I'm not saying it is, it could be that we are not confident enough to unmute, to switch on our cameras and speak. It might be that maybe you are not sure of how people will perceive you. Your worth is low. Now if I unmute her, now if I type this, now if I say this, you're always worried. You do not have the boldness because it is affected by the value you have attached to yourself. You don't feel good enough. You don't feel enough. And so you cannot easily speak up. So that's what I can speak about self-confidence and self-worth. When you know your worth, it's easy for you to be confident and express yourself. Thank you.
Wow, wow. Indeed, the examples, the stories, so relatable. Me, I keep seeing myself in the examples. I don't know how about others. Maybe given opportunity, people share their takeaway and they will share how they have been seeing themselves in your examples. And for me, when COVID came, by then I was with Compassion, and of course I was at a project level, and we used to have Zoom meetings. And for me, I remember very well the first day we had Zoom, I was picked out to say something. Trust me, I hit leave because no one was seeing me. I mean, why would I speak yet there are other convenient options of dodging? And of course, you know, when they pick you, you can hide and seek for like 4 minutes. By the time you log on again, they have selected another route, another case, and for you it is pass. And for me being here and becoming a moderator, I think it's one of the it's one of the self-worth, self-confident challenges. And thank you so much. I believe even other people who are not speaking, they have their stories, but it's not easy. It's daunting. Sometimes you're asking, no one is responding, but it goes down to how are you feeling inside? Are you feeling you can do it, or are you feeling that you can also live and confuse whoever gave you the assignment, that you know what, network here, you know things, you see. Thank you so much. And with all these nuggets, Solomon, we are going to do better. We are going to be better. And for me, when you talk about self-confident, I've met someone who is, I think, she's too confident. She said, she told me, Charity, for me, I can stop a convoy. I said, what? Said, yes. I said, I tell you, like, how can you stop it? Said, me, I can stop it. If they can stop, I can say, for me, I just wanted to say hello. And I just admired her confidence. I hope and I pray one day I'll be that confident. But yes, with your sessions, and I know this is first of the many, we are all going to get there. And another question that I would want to ask, as you shared your personal story, like, does it hit you one day and you feel like right now I'm self-confident, I have the confidence? And as you answer that, you can take us through, are there the baby steps, the small steps you took for you to get there, such that we copy, we learn, and because that's what we are here for. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, before I even go to what you have asked, sometimes there is a thin line between self-confidence and arrogance. Now, we need to be careful with that. It's good to be to have that confidence, but please don't run to the other extreme of being arrogant. Of course, some people say do it as a joke, but have you heard somebody say, when you compliment somebody, it's like, of course I know. Like, hello, all you just need to say is thank you. But but sometimes you can easily end up at the arrogant bit. Actually, Martha has just mentioned that it is important for us to also know that confidence and arrogance can be similar. That is very correct. Let us not go to the arrogant bit. Let us, it's like being assertive and then being less mindful of others. To claim that you are assertive, you have to be mindful of how others will feel or will react. So when you say, for me, I'm a blunt person. I am like this, and so I am a confident guy, and then you just start throwing it in people's faces, that becomes arrogance. You need to learn how to express yourself without stepping on others, without without throwing it into people's faces anyhow. So thank you, Martha, for that comment. Now, about taking baby steps. For those who were here from the beginning, I shared my story. When you see the Solomon now and the Solomon then, those two people are miles apart. I will have to assure you that it has not been a one day's thing. It has not been a short journey. It has taken me a lot of time. How did I start? I told you it started with Chiboko in class in senior 3. That's how I started. Now, some of you may not get a chance of being beaten, but you might lose a chance to get a job or something. You miss an opportunity. That would be enough Chiboko for you. So when that happened, I started opening up. I started putting up my hand and, giving answers in class. Then I started being deliberate in taking on roles, leadership roles in school. And by the time I reached senior 6, I had started taking on extra questions. Remember senior 6 with seminars and discussions. I would take on extra questions, whichever was available that nobody was willing to do research about. I took it on and then I would present. Now, when I started presenting, and because I was good at mastering subject content, so I realized that people believed in what I presented. Now that one started building my esteem. It started building my worth. I started realizing that actually I could add value to others. And so it built my ability to speak up, and to express myself. Another thing that I did when I joined university, I joined the St. Francis drama group. And remember, my English was not good. Eh? Remember that story. And and here I was with people from we used to call them first class schools. And it was a challenge, you guys. It was a big challenge. And we had an unwritten rule in drama group in St. Francis that if you spoke broken English, you would be corrected immediately on stage. Now, the congregation did not know that we were being corrected. They thought it was part of the acting. So I remember one particular incident when somebody said something and I said, I do not think. And this lady from Gayaza Girls is like, you do not think? Did you just lose your brain? A person who has a brain has to think. You say, I do not think so. Oh my goodness. That was it. That was one of the incidents I can remember. But we had several where we were being corrected. Now, that also helped me because I knew it was an unwritten rule. It was to get me better. But I would communicate, man. St. Francis Chapel is a big place, a big audience. That helped me to learn how to express myself, to believe in myself more, but also to seek somebody to walk the journey with. I've had people who have spoken good stuff in my life. I've told you the story of my wife who believed in me and told me that, you know what? You have a beautiful smile. You look good. I started believing that actually this is it. And I realized that I was valuable. The person in me speaking good things in my life really helped me. I have had many people who have spoken in my life. Even this journey of doing this, by the way, has been partly because of my wife, who has told me over and over that I am a very good communicator. But I've also met people like Coach Samuel, who have told me that, man, you do not know what you're sitting on. There is a lot within you that you can harness. And so later I started being picked on because I was expressing myself. I started being picked on to moderate events. I've moderated events, high-profile events, small events. And one of the events that I highlight was when I was the moderator for General Katumba's book, General Katumba Wamala's book. I was the moderator. And, that was a high-profile event. And, man, I was like, how do I manage this? I quaked within me. I was like, how? But you know what? I did it. And the feedback I got after that was phenomenal. So sometimes you do not know what you have until you have these people speaking in your life, but also stepping out. One thing I have learned that I always exercise is whenever I am in a meeting and I'm given a chance to speak, I make the most of it. I will have to introduce, for example, introductions. I use introduction because the only time you might have in that meeting would be your introduction. So when I am given a chance to introduce myself, I introduce myself in the best way possible. I do not just say, my name is, no. I prepare, I think through it and make sure that it is outstanding. That at the end of it all, somebody will be like, can I have your business card? What do you actually do? I mean, that kind of thing, because of the way I introduced myself. So start there. Today you lost a chance if you didn't, because you had a chance to introduce yourself and introduce yourself with a bang. So let's find a way of doing that. And now I'm also trying to teach myself on other skills like how to manage, how to know, to read the environment where I am and how to fit into the environment, to speak relevantly. You know, those things are very important. You might be confident, then when you open your mouth to speak, somebody's like, what's wrong with this person? Why are they off topic? Why are they speaking nonsense? You need to be confident, but speaking relevant stuff. So learn to get to know what the environment is about, to speak to the environment, to speak to the situation, to listen to others. So many things intertwined. Thank you. But I also wanted to give a chance to was it Stephen? Was it who said that communication skills gave him an opportunity to land a job? I wanted to hear more about that, if that's okay, Charity. Briefly.
It's perfectly okay.
So was it Stephen? Was it you, Stephen? If it's okay to share your experience about how this communication thing, no, it was Fred Unzima. Do you mind sharing that experience briefly?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, thank you so much. My name is Fred. I hope you guys are hearing me.
Yes, we
Yes,
can
we
hear
are.
you.
Yeah. Well, last year I happened to have done an interview with Waltunga Hilfer, and it was the third round of the interview. It was a compliance coordinator for South Sudan. So I actually happened to have been like interviewed by the country director. So the first question was always, tell me about yourself. It always has to come with confidence and good communication skills if you really want the job so bad. I mean, what I had to do is exactly ensure that I give my best. And you know what happened? I knew that job was mine, was at the point whereby the country director was like, hey Fred, did you study from an international school, or you actually studied in America? So I was like, oh, I'm hitting the nails. And so she's like, I'm so tired for you. Oh, I thought maybe I could ask more questions to follow this up, but then you've answered all that I wanted from you. So, this comes with preparation. So I thought at the point where she's really telling me like, oh, she's so tired for me. And yeah, I think she liked the way I expressed myself, and I knew it was communication that won for me the job. And with compliance, obviously you have to be very good at training, and you have to be very good at writing reports, and you have to be able to do some investigations. You need to be able to approach a certain group of people and really get to understand their need, and be able to do a good reporting. So that was really easier for me.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Fred, for sharing your story. Okay, Charity, over to you.
Thank you, Fred. Indeed, they met a person who had mastered the self-confidence. Yes, we have 6 people who are on YouTube, and Lawrence B made a comment and said, finding yourself doing things right no matter the challenges. That's self-confidence. That's how he defined self-confidence. Thank you so much, Lawrence. We appreciate your contribution. Yes, thank you again. And here, my next question will be, yes, thank you for giving us the knowledge, the strategies. I remember at one point you said how we should walk away, especially to people who are undervaluing our self-worth, giving your personal story, personal example. And this brings us to a question of, I know some of us, we are already in spaces where we are supervising, where we are being supervised. And here I'll ask in a context of both sides, which kind of, how can you put that in conducive environment? And I think also someone put it as an expectation where you can master the art of showing people, like how you did it in your drama club. If another person would be offended, would ask why the unwritten rule, why do you confront, why do you interject? So my question is, like, how can we create that environment in our places of work, whether we are, I understand, however much we have supervisors, leaders, they tell us, all of us, we are leaders in our own capacity. And when it comes to our homes, we are also leaders. How can we put such kind of environment where people express, where people don't shy away? Because I understand someone can come from a place where they have mastered their self-worth, then they get, let's say, a transfer or a change of jobs, they find a totally different culture that will distort everything and will make them start doubting themselves, start not being sure about what they want in life and career. How can we do away with all that, putting such kind of environment that fosters people to come out confident and knowing, understanding their self-worth? Thank you.
I am not sure I can ably give the perfect answer to this, but I would also let me request the people online also, if they can type a thing or two on how they think we could foster this. We will see how to. Please feel free to type and share how we think, because this is not a one size fits all. I would say it depends on different circumstances. And so I would like to hear from others as well. Remember, we are learning from each other. Iron sharpens iron. So what has worked for you could also be picked by myself. Charity mentioned earlier that we are here to learn, but also to unlearn and relearn. So it is important to listen to one another. Please type what you think can help us to create such an environment. But as you type, please feel free to type. I'm expecting to see responses here. Please don't disappoint me. Now, for me, I would think where I start from, I have taught myself to always focus, first of all, focus on the internal locus of control. I first look at what I am in control of. I focus on me in the first place. Then later, I can look at what Charity, what Keith, what Rosette can do. So I would start by encouraging us to start with us. I'll start with me, start with the you. Let us start with I. I will purpose to do A, B, C, D. There are different things that we have discussed, the different actions that could help us. Start with I. I will start by doing this, because I'm not going to wait for Charity to light my candle, because she may not have the fire. I am going to find the fire from somewhere from within me and start lighting my candle. Now, the light might not be as bright, but as this candle goes lighting for some time, you'll realize that your light is getting better, and other people are actually asking, so how do you do this? So how, and by the way, some of them, they will say, there is a way Charity behaves different. You notice when there is this, Charity does this. You know, when there is argument, Charity keeps quiet. So some people will start seeing what you do. And remember, we are human beings. Monkey see, monkey do. We will easily, as you know, if we feel like what is being done is good, well, there is a way we easily adapt. And we'll start mirroring the kind of behavior that we see in others. So I think it will start with us. For me, that's what has helped me. It has helped me when it comes to issues of conflict. It has helped me when it comes to issues of understanding others. It has helped me when it comes to communicating. For example, when I communicate and I feel like I've been misunderstood, I'll ask myself, I don't say, but how could Charity not understand what I said? No, I get back to myself and I say, how did I not communicate clearly that Charity did not understand me? What was my part in this? Okay. If I know, for example, there was a time when I felt so misunderstood. And many people called me proud. Many people called me a snob. Many people called me a poser. And it was quite hurting, because according to me, I felt like I was down to earth. I was easy. I was the opposite of whatever people said. So when they said that, of course it hurt, and I asked myself, why would somebody call me proud? Why would somebody call me a poser? What are those things that I am doing that are projecting this kind of personality to the people? So one of the things I realized was people called me complicated, poser, proud, because I tend to do things in a certain way. I'm very structured. I am quite organized. So people used to think because of that, I am a poser, I am proud. Secondly, because I prefer to speak English in some way. Now, little do they know where I'm coming from. They forget that there is this story behind this English that I had to learn by force because of the bullying. Now, for me, I told myself, I said, if I have to speak English, I have to speak it right. So I will take time to learn how to construct sentences, how to punctuate, how even when I'm speaking, I am training myself. I have gone for public speaking classes. I have done all these things to make sure that when I speak, I am speaking confidently and I am speaking well. I'm communicating well. Now, people would say, yeah, Panka, because of that. So there are certain things I said, okay, I will have to tone down on this. But there's certain things I said, no, I am not going to downgrade what I believe is good for the sake of others. Now, that helped me to understand myself, but also to understand others. So right now, Charity, you walk to me and you say, but Solomon, we punk. I'll just tell you, actually, I do. Ne punk, munangi. So I will joke about it, I will laugh about it, and I will not take offense. I am comfortable. When I joined drama group, I had to first understand, how does this group run? I realized that one of the things was that you take offense at your own risk. So I realized that that was it. That was the culture I fit in. When it's a good culture that's going to improve me, I'll find a way of fitting in. When it's a bad culture that's going to destroy me, I'll find a way of distancing myself. But it's very important to first sit down, understand yourself, and understand the environment around you. As I speak right now, I am in a new place. I am heading a new team. I recently moved. I am now 2 weeks old in a new team. And I already told them, guys, allow me time to learn. I might make some mistakes, but I will get there. So right now I'm in the learning process. I'm trying to understand people. I'm trying to know their culture. And you know, when you come into a different culture, and moreover as a supervisor, it becomes really complicated. And people might shun you. People might push you away because they will think that, you know, you are a problem. When you have been newly recruited, have you taken time to understand the culture of that place, of that organization? How do the things work? There are always unwritten rules in every environment. Of course, they'll give you the staff policy handbook, whatever it is, but there are those unwritten rules that you need to learn. You know, when I went to this new office, I realized that when you buy your accompaniment for breakfast, you have to buy for an extra person because people buy their things and bring in the office and put at their table. So people will pick, even if I didn't buy it, I'll come and pick a piece of cassava, I'll come pick a pancake, like that. Now I'm learning. I have started also, when I'm buying something to eat, I buy extra. I don't buy just for me. I buy extra. And then when I go, I don't put on my plate. No, I put on the general plate. But also I pick from what another person has brought, a piece, to show that I am appreciating what I have found, because it's a good thing. So I will perpetuate it. If it is bad, I'll find some time and say, you know what, then I'll talk about it, but in a good way after I have understood. But when you run it to comment immediately you have come, they'll be like, all in all, wakaja. What do you know? You are increasing on the problem. So let's take time to learn. Let's take time to understand. I've read somewhere where they say, seek to understand before you want to be understood. Seek to understand. So some of those are the things which have guided me. But I also want to read some comments here that have come in. Somebody says, speak affirmations for what you desire to happen to yourself. Remember, start with yourself. Positive stuff. Thank you so much, Rita. Gloria says, as a colleague, it's important to give and receive feedback so as to foster growth. Yes. As an individual, practice self-reflection. Yes. To identify your areas of growth. And this is where there is a big problem. Identifying areas of growth. It's important to look at yourself and, you know, I need to grow in this. I need to this is my area of growth. You have stated it well. Others will say weakness. You know, get to know that. Philip says, understanding how you will work and understanding the new work environment needs desires. It's very important. The new environment, you need to learn it. Tracy, why are you pulling my leg? That did they mean proud or too confident? No, actually, they said I was proud. And yeah, I had to evaluate why they said that, and it helped me a lot. Again, Stephen says, developing a growth mindset and understand that failure is not the end, but a stepping stone. Yes, by treating these struggles as opportunities to improve, I became more resilient. That is very fantastic. The greatest mistake you can make in life is to be continually fearing you will make that you'll make a mistake. Thank you so much, Stephen, for this. Indeed, the environment will have to start with you. It will have to start with you. Have I been in a place where I'm like, oh my goodness, this environment is terrible? Yes. Yes, I have. Sometimes I felt like, no, I can't stay in this environment. Yes. Sometimes you reach a point and you have to walk. One thing I didn't tell you, I am a Rotarian. I have been a Rotary Club president, but there is this club I belonged to, and it was too toxic. I tried to, bring about the positivity that I want to see and blah, 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 and things didn't work out. Do you know what? I walked because I realized the environment was not something that was propelling me forward. So I walked. So sometimes it is important when you realize that this environment is too toxic for you, it can't work anymore, move. Somebody said, yes, you're not a tree, move. Thank you, Charity. I think that's all I can say. But thank you, people, for the great comments coming in. I am really enjoying the conversation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think for me, I'm the writing type. My notebook is getting done because every line is worth taking. And for me, this response to the question I've got an action to take. That is to go back and read the 7 habits of highly effective people, especially maybe someone who has read it can help me. I don't remember which habit is that, but I know it's seek to understand before you understood. And I think for me, I had a bit of friction with that habit because I also want the other person to first understand.
Of course, everybody wants that.
Yes, and because of that thing, at some point I've got my hands burnt and what? Yes, of course, you saying it over and over again, it's indeed a thing for me to go back and leave everything, leave whatever I'm thinking of, and it's a thing of I. Thank you so much. I see our time, we have 19 minutes to go. I can't believe, because the conversations are so relatable. Yes, Rita. Rita has something to say. Let me unmute. Yes, please.
Thank you, Charity. Thank you, Charity, for moderating. I am also getting the courage to show myself on camera. It's one thing that I've always feared to do. Even when they would tell me to stand up, I'm like, no, let someone else speak. But I'm learning. That's why I've gotten the courage to do this. Thank you. Now, Solomon, I am requesting, you talked about one of the ways to get confident is to learn how to introduce yourself in the best way possible. And this always comes up always in our meetings. They want us to introduce ourselves. Could you please help me? Because to me, I believe like this would be my starting point for me to work on myself, because this has always come up over and over in the meetings. Thank you.
So which kind of help would you want, Rita? I haven't understood.
To learn how to do it. To learn how to do it, because personally, what I would do is I would tell them I am Rita Kamiti, a quality control officer in the water quality department stationed at Wungoho Regional Lab, and I would stop there. So how would I introduce myself in the best way possible?
How do you think you would? How do you think you would? Because now you have already mentioned how you do it, and you think it is lacking. What do you think is lacking?
I think I don't know what is lacking, but I feel there is something lacking.
You feel like there's something that is lacking. Okay,
yes.
You're going to look for that thing which is lacking.
Thank you for the assignment.
Yes, you're going to look for that thing which is lacking. Another thing that I would want to, that I've been encouraged to do over and over is learn to introduce yourself without telling what you do. Some of us easily introduce ourselves by our titles. My name is Solomon Jackson Kobwemi. I'm an area manager of NSSF. Without that, who are you? Without the title, who are you? So you're going to look for that thing. And I wish I could get to know what it is later. Please make sure that you get back to me. I need to know what it is. Charity, something you need to pick on here. Martha, by the way, Martha, I thank you so much for joining in. Martha is my friend. From the we walk and hike mountains together. Martha says it's best to read all the habits instead of one. They build on each other. That is for you, Charity. And she has offered to gladly walk with you as you read it. Thank you so much, Martha, for that you have offered. Charity, take it with both hands. Anyway, thank you so much, Rita, for your question. I have given you an assignment that I would request you to do, and look for me and give me feedback, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Martha. I appreciate your availability to work with me. These days, time, it's when you get someone's time, even if it's 2 minutes, even if it's 1 minute, it's people have really sacrificed. I appreciate. And from here, immediately I'm going to get a copy. I know where I can get a soft copy, and I'll start immediately. And I hope to get your contact as well. For Rita, I understand you're a member of Transformational Professional Club.
Yes, Charity.
Yes. So thank you so much for gaining the boldness to put your camera on. And as also Solomon is on the group, maybe after I will get his number and you keep in touch as you draft how the thing you feel that is missing. And I think Rita has opened the floor to our next part. We have reached a part of questions and answers. And I think from the sessions, if at all you feel you're comfortable to speak up from where you are, if the internet can allow you to switch on your video, kindly ask any question from everything that Solomon has talked about. Ask your question and he'll give you the answer in the 14 minutes that are remaining. Otherwise, thank you so much, Solomon. As I shared for me, I have so many things I've written down. Every line was worth putting down, and after I'll go back and revise and see which action I'm going to take, because it's also not good to say, yes, we attend the session, it was good. Solomon had good lines. The English was A. At the end of the day, we need to take action and act on what we have learned. Please feel free. Ask your question. If it is guidance, anything, feel free to ask your question.
Diana has a question. But I'm going to request Diana that before I answer your question, I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself. Tracy, Diana, please first introduce yourself, because people introduce themselves in your absence. So kindly do us. I would like to answer your question after that. Are you able to speak? Hello, Tracy, Diana. Are you able to speak? If in a noisy place, Diana, I am also going to be in a noisy place now that I will not answer your question. because you're running out from an opportunity to do something that I'd really love you to do. Then wants me to give a sample of how I have previously introduced myself in different contexts. I may not give those examples per se, but I can give different contexts and the pointers to how I have introduced myself. For example, when I am coming to talk to people here on Transformational Professionals Club, I will introduce myself looking at my passion. Okay? I will say my name and my passion. My passion is I am a soft skills enthusiast and I'm a trainer. And I might go ahead and give a little more information about the soft skills. And maybe I could mention what stands out for me and why. That would be an introduction for here. If I am going to talk to people in the Rotary circles, I am going to introduce myself as a Rotarian in a language that Rotarians will understand. I have been invited to speak to people about giving to charity. And as a Rotarian, I give to charity. So when I am invited to talk about that, I will talk more about the charities I've given to or participated in, okay, as a way of introduction. I'm Solomon Jackson Kobwemi, and I love charity. I have participated in ABCD charity drives. So I have to introduce myself in a way that is relevant for that particular audience. Sometimes we go ahead and introduce ourselves and bring so many things that may not be necessarily relevant in that particular context. So we also need to learn that. Diana, that's all I can give since you've dodged my ask. I've also given you that as it is. I hope it has helped. Do we have any other question? I would like to particularly thank Diana, Martha, and who? There's some other friend of mine who joined. I think he dropped off. For joining in because they checked my status update and they looked for the link. They wanted to join in and be part of this. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Somebody has said something here that I need to read. That Martha says, my introduction usually includes my identity, my values, my passion, part of my character relevant to the audience, my work environment, and lastly, my position, if needed. I think you can hear that. If needed, it's important to introduce yourself without the positions because these positions tend to lie to us. They are not forever. They don't define us. Thank you so much for that addition, Martha. Okay. Wait a minute. Somebody said something else. Okay. My computer is acting up.
Yes, Doros Natkunda. Dora, thank you so much. She says, thank you so much, Charity and Solomon, for the great session. I've really learned a lot. Be blessed. Thank you so much. We are happy to hear that you learned. Yes, Patricia has something. Patricia, go ahead. Yes, Patricia.
It's Charity.
Yes, Fred.
Yeah, I'll just want to ask some question. I mean, to make this like better next time. I'm just thinking like, I think our audience would love to know.
Good evening, everyone.
Oh, sorry. I don't know. Somebody's saying something.
Patricia, you can maybe wait for Fred.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was trying to say, like, I would love to think like our audience would love to know, like, what's the most sought out of soft skills for the career growth for 2025. I mean, they will be very interested to know, like, which are the best soft skills for the current jobs. Maybe how can I navigate the current jobs using the soft skills currently? I think they're interested in knowing that, and I think why some of us are here and how maybe different industries. How do you approach them with different soft skills, or maybe different jobs? How do you approach them with different soft skills? I mean, for different for different let's say professions, how do you approach it with different soft skills? Let's say if I'm in programs, obviously communication comes first, confidence, teamwork, something like that. And then if maybe I'm let's say I'm in finance, it could be like something different. If I'm like in legal and compliance, obviously communication and stuff like that. Yeah. Thank you so much. I hope you got me.
Yes, Fred. Maybe if I can recap like what you have said for you to.
Yeah.
The question is about, you would want Solomon to throw more light on some of the must-have. Yes,
Yeah.
must-have soft skills, especially in this era 2025. Is it?
Yep. Yes, please. I think people would really love to hear that.
All right.
Okay.
Indeed,
is it okay to go ahead and answer that?
Yes, Solomon.
Now, this is what I would want to say, that that would give us a subjective kind of answer, depending on your viewpoint. To say, I would esteem communication above every other. I would esteem, and different, as you have said, different industries might have a different priority list of the soft skills. However, this is what I would encourage, especially the young professionals, even us who are old, is to work very hard and get bits and pieces of each of these soft skills, because you do not know when you need what at what particular point. You might say right now, 2025, you need emotional intelligence as the number one soft skill. But when you go out to work, you will notice that emotional intelligence mastered, but you're lacking on communication totally. And yet you really had what somebody said was the best. And then you start saying, it was a hoax, which is not true. So different circumstances, you will get to a work environment, and different circumstances will require you to have different skills, to apply different skills, or a multiple of them. There can come a situation when you need to apply different of them at the same time, where you have to listen actively, where you have to communicate effectively, where your emotional intelligence has to be high, where you have to be aware of yourself and aware of others, where you have to be confident. So basically, you realize that it is a multiplicity of them. So I would be wrong to say, Fred, you know what? Go for this. Go for this. No, I find that very misleading and very, very, I don't want to use the other word. So I would encourage that we get bits and pieces and continuously work at getting better. Continuously, yes. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Solomon.
Thank you so much once again. Indeed, we have come to close our session. We have 2 minutes and we can only say thank you. Solomon, would you want to give us your parting shot in a few words?
A few words. I want to say thank you so much to each one of you who has honored this invite to show up. You know, you can call a seminar and people don't show up, and then you're speaking to no one. I want to appreciate each one of you for showing up, for taking your time. This is a long time, 2 hours is a long time. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for being engaging, for responding, for participating actively. And thank you so much for starting this journey. It's a journey which will take us to greater places. I'm very confident of that. We'll be sharing more. Please take time to follow me on my LinkedIn because I am sharing a lot about soft skills. I'll be increasing on the frequency, but soft skills cannot be learned in one seminar in 2 hours. We'll be talking more and more and more. Feel free to reach out to me for more conversation. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much once again. So many learnings. However, if we don't go out and do anything about the learnings, the situation will remain the same. I hope and I'm confident that all of us, we are going to apply what we have just learned. Yes, Solomon has asked us to follow him on LinkedIn, of which me, I'm already a follower. I'm going to be a consistent follower. I cannot afford to miss out on this knowledge, and also to Fred. I know there is an organization. I haven't found another. It's called Rounding Up the Edges. The founder is called Dr. Jen Kayondo. You can check on LinkedIn. Their specialty is soft skills training. If they do physical, they do virtual, and the fees are subsidized because I think it's in form of giving back. You can check out if you want to harness most of these soft skills, and so many other places. And of course, we have Solomon here with us as ATPS members. We are going to utilize you, Solomon.
Charity,
yes.
Charity, I'm also a soft skills trainer. Before you send them to the other person, I train. We can have this conversation. I can do groups. I can do individuals. I can do physical. I can do online. Thank you.
Yes. All right. So we will reach out to you when we are ready and when we have all it takes. And the good thing, we have you with us. We'll engage more and more deeply. Thank you so much. Thank you, people, for showing up. I know it's a Friday, hectic. People are so tired, everything, but you spared and sacrificed. Thank you so much. And we hope to learn more and more over so many sessions that are going to be coming up. So
just a moment, Charity. Somebody has asked for my LinkedIn handle. I wanted to share it before you close.
Yes, please.
I am technology. I'm trying to get it. Let me get it from just a moment. Here it comes. There it is. That's my LinkedIn. Yeah.
All right.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
You're welcome. Thank you too. Thank you. Have a nice evening
and a good
Have
night.
a nice weekend.
Charity, thank you. You have been such a wonderful host.
Thank you.
Well done, Charity.
Thank you. Thank you, Kate. People, thank you for attending. Thank you for keeping online. People on YouTube, we appreciate your presence. Have a nice weekend.